All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
Good morning, Carlos. I'm doing great. By the Gappers list, we should have started this show about 4 hours ago.
I agree. 4:30. We should have been getting this list ready. So, welcome, guys, to another week of trading. Obviously, a lot going on. But before we get into everything, the big news today is what the market is doing. So, let's just jump right into the market pulse. And Norm, give us an update on what's happening here.
We got a gap up 4.5% on the SPY, only 9/10 of a percent on the Qs. But as everybody knows, it's been trading with us this year. They have just run and run and run. They're up so big. A lot of this work from home stuff, they're beneficiary of. The Dow was up at some point like 15, Dow futures up like 1,500 points this morning, all on news that Pfizer and BioNTech have a vaccine with limited to no side effects and 90% efficacy. They were hoping for 50. That was the bar,
Wow.
50 to 60%. Um, so anyway, so it's going to be a little bit before that starts getting distributed and everything else. But obviously, it's crazy. This Gappers list is absolutely ridiculous, and the scanners that we have, I don't even know how. I'm not going to count, but I'm guessing there's 100 stocks on there.
Hmm.
Um, One of the things that we do is one of the points of this exercise is to try to find things in play,
Yeah.
and try to find things that aren't just moving with the market. You don't really need uh, trade ideas this morning. You could throw a dart after spinning around 15 times blindfolded and drunk and hit a stock in play. So we can go through whatever people want to go through. A few companies did have earnings. I mean, a lot of them make no sense. Like McDonald's had earnings. They had some positive news. They're up 5%. A lot of these other things are up 20 plus percent, 15 plus percent. So I'm going to say, in reality, I'm going to narrow it down to three or four. We can go through this and do our normal thing, and you can take a few of the top ones. I don't even need to look at news this morning, knowing the overall picture, really, except for a few of them. I'm going to pick a few of the favorites from reopening. And then on the other side, you get somebody like Zoom that has just had a monster run this year and is going to get slammed on this. I mean,
Right.
they're
This is not good
down
for them.
big. This is not good for them. I have not looked at Peloton this morning, but I'm guessing it's getting hit too,
Yeah.
11.5%. So, that's kind of the idea I'm going to stick to today. Should be interesting. We don't have any economic data coming out today. So, I'm going to. Somebody's asking what's the reason for all the stocks in the red. I'm not going through each one of them, but these are primarily, I mean, just looking at these are all things: work from home, be at home, stuck at home, home projects, all this stuff people have been spending money on because they're working from the house. Cloud things in here, which they might actually end up, some of these cloud things, I mean, they're long term plays. It's not just from home. It might, slow their growth currently a little bit, but, the teledoc, is that really going to go away? Yeah, it's going to get pulled back for now. Um, Chewy, the things just not leaving. So I've already actually kind of picked out a few. You can go through your list. I'm just going to say the ones I'm kind of looking at this morning are UAL, MGM, WIN, CCL, AAL, Piton, Party, PRTY. They did have earnings as well, and they're a beneficiary of this. And I generally don't trade pot stocks a lot, but CGC's one.
Yeah, agree
So
100%. Norm, that was perfect, and it's exactly what's happening today. So we're not gonna. There's no way we're gonna get through this entire list. It's impossible. And racing. Somebody mentioned, let's raise the bar on the gappers list. But if you do that, you're still going to have a lot on here. For example, let's say you only look at what's gapping up 20%. Let's look at that. That's almost 15 stocks. So no
Yeah.
matter how you raise the gap, raise the bar, it's not really going to help you today when everything is just in the double digits here, guys. I mean, look at the stocks that are above 10% today. So I'm following almost what Norm is doing. I'm gonna look at some key ones like United. Right, that one is up huge. Obviously, the airlines. I wonder what American Airlines is doing. CCL is another one that's big as well. So I like CCL this morning. So I'm going to stick to these stocks. I look at the volume on CCL, 14 million shares, right? These stocks that have been doing really, really well with really bad, excuse me, with the pandemic, obviously are killing it today. And some of the ones that are, as Mel mentioned, that were doing well because of people being stuck at home are doing pretty bad. Netflix is down 5.4. You have PayPal down. So all these stocks that were just been crushing it are down slightly. I'm going to look at a few of those on my
Can you
list.
scroll
So,
the gap? Can you scroll the gap up all the way to the top? I know
yep,
it's not all the way up there, and some people can't see it.
yep.
Um, I'll look at some of these short floats too, because a lot of these things that I mean, just the stories here. JWN, for instance, might be interesting. It's obviously it's Nordstrom. They've been hammered. They're up 18%,
Mm-hmm.
45% short float now. Man, people have been stuck at home eating garbage. A lot of people for like 8 months. They're going to have to get new clothes before they go back to work.
Right, right.
It's just stuff like that. Their work clothes have been sitting in the closet for since February.
Yeah, yeah, and who
So
knows
anyway,
how many of us gain weight and probably don't fit into those clothes anymore. So, yeah, it's crazy.
I'm
It's
short
it's
toilet
crazy.
paper, and
That's amazing. All right, guys. So let's again, it's just a lot going on today. Let's look at the top five on each side just to see if we find something there. But again, I think there's gonna be the same story all around, and then we'll shoot it over to you guys. But today, I don't want us. We don't want us to go through every single stock. Try to find something that looks really good, has incredible volume, and maybe hopefully its own catalyst, which I that's gonna be very difficult to find today. But if you do have something like that, let's look at it. But today's a day where you can just watch really four stocks of your favorite companies, and you can do very, very well. And it's also a day where you want to be careful because as a new trader, if today's your first day, it's a very tough first day because you can come out here killing it and
well,
think
and
you
I'll
figure it
say
out.
I'll add this too. And I tweeted this out. I don't know, a few hours ago this morning when I woke up and started having my first cup of coffee and looking at the market is frankly, I'm not that excited to trade today because trading a 4 or 5% gap up is not easy.
Yeah,
You think,
yeah.
oh, great, stock market's up, whatever. This is going to be tough because everything is super extended already.
Right, right. Exactly,
So
exactly. So let's
we'll
look at the
see.
top five guys on both sides. I got some here already. We have United, obviously. Look at the gap up on United. It's just incredible. American Airlines as well, another one that I like this morning. Tons of volume, trading very, very clean. They are definitely in play with if this thing can get going. Peloton's taking a hit. I love Peloton's right now. Pre-market action. Their day looks amazing. Barely holding on to this support here. So I like that one too. Nor mentioned CGC, and this is probably one of the most cleanest trading pot stocks that there is. And this one is looking pretty good on the daily as well. Nice breakout here
They had
this
earnings
morning.
this. They had earnings this morning. Their revenue smashed estimates. They
Hmm.
actually turned a profit as opposed to a loss that was expected. So,
Nice,
pretty good story
nice.
for them.
Yeah, excellent there.
Then you got
Um,
then you got undercurrents of people. Will maybe after the vaccine in a few months feel comfortable passing joints to each other again. Once
Absolutely.
again,
Yeah, yeah. That's
um,
something you have to be careful with. Now you can get a little freedom there, so that's good. It's good for the economy there. Uh, let's look at a CCL, guys. CCL as well. Another one that's this is good news for them. I know they have pushed back their tribal dates to next year. I believe everything was canceled this year, so maybe that I don't know how fast this thing, but that's good news for them, right? Any group gatherings. Someone mentioned AMC, right? How's AMC doing? Also doing well. Another place that's been hammered, right? These movie theaters. This is up nicely today, 82%. I actually like this one. I'm going to put AMC on here. And then what else we have here? APVO is a low flow stock. I'm not really going to look at this when I have stocks that are, for reputable companies that can actually trade very well today. So I'm not going to focus on that 2.9 million shares. CNK, this one looks good. Nice pre-market action here as well. CNK, I like that. We could keep an eye on that one, up 44%. EPR, nope. This is you don't want to look at anything that looks like this today. 122,000. That's basically you're not moving today with that type of volume. You need a lot more on a day like today. CUK is trading well, but CCL is the one you want to look at. This one tends to trend a little bit cleaner. And then we have ACB here. Now ACB also got some good volume, but I'm with you, Norm. CGC is the one that looks much cleaner this morning. Let's take a look at what's gapping down today. On the top list, top five, BIIB. This one gapping down. This looks like it might have its own catalyst. Not sure if it's pandemic related, but look at Friday, Thursday, excuse me. This pop Thursday was crazy, with 14 million shares traded only. Yeah, Friday traded about, what's this, 4.8. A stock sitting at 340. This is not really tradable, guys. This is not good. So I'm not gonna be looking at that. APT is a low flow stock sitting at 11.6 million this morning. They are down 18%. Possible. I want to see the stuff on the negative side too today. It's so possible. INO this morning. What's INO up to? So INO is we have not looked at this in a very long time. You guys remember this used to be a very clean trading stock. They're taking a bit of a hit today, down 14.6. I do like this as a possible as well. I'm going to throw it on there. NLS is down 14%. This is at the moment nothing really exciting. And the last one on here, CODX. Now you guys remember this stock is a little bit on the riskier side, 26 million, but it can really move very wild. Again, on a day like today, this is not something you want to have on your list. Let's take it to the room for a couple of minutes. See what you guys have besides what's on here already, and also let's try to avoid. For example, I got two airlines already on here. We know the airlines are active, so don't send a JetBlue because you know it's going to be good. You can watch that if you prefer that over United or American Airlines. Same thing with the NCLH. If you prefer that one over CCL, you can watch that one. But let's see what else we might find that might not be on here. Let's start with Jesse. Jesse's bringing out Workhorse. That's one that we have looked at in the past, but yet today, again, their pre-market is struggling here as far as a great price action. Their volume is great, 792, but if you look at this pre-market action, I don't see how that volume is not trading well at all. So I do like the daily though. I do like the possible bounce back here. We're getting off of 1730, 1740, so that looks nice. Possible breakout. But again, the rest is not calling me right now for this type of day. Let's look at Oxy and Plug. See a few people throwing those two out here. Yeah, Oxy's nice. This is good here. This is a real good pre-market action for them. They got 2 million shares. Obviously, this is great news for them. Oil company, get people moving. That's good business for them. So that's a good one to have there. Let's look at Plug. That one has been good for us the last couple of days as well. A couple of great breakouts right at the open.
Morning
Earnings
as well.
All right, so they're up 2.3. I like their daily here. We're slightly above the area of
Had a
resistance.
larger loss than expected, although
Yeah,
the revenues were more than expected. So
gotcha. So I like that they're above this area of resistance. They were able to break out of that. Had a nice gap up last week as well. This was a beautiful day in the intraday charts also. The pre-market again does not look great, but I do really like this daily. I like the fact that they got their own catalyst here, and that they're not extended by 30% up this morning. So that could be interesting. So let's keep an eye on that one. Next, DKNG. Let's look at play. And then we'll look at Neo. And again, we can't look at all of them today, guys, so I apologize. DKNG, this one, DKNG has had a beautiful bounce off this 35.15 last week. Just look how great that support was. We talked about how great the support had been over August, part of July, and a little bit of September here, early September. And it worked out very well last week, 2 weeks ago. Very nice pop here. Beautiful continuation right now. Yeah, this can get going. This stock is pretty good. And this is, go ahead.
hop in here. Finish
Yeah.
up. I want to talk about
Yeah.
two real quick after you wrap up DKNG.
Yeah, so basically, this is a good stock when it's in play like this. When it's at 1.2 million, and obviously this news is good for them as well. What do you have, Norm?
So people are the whole reason for this thing is because of the PFE BNTX collaboration on COVID drug that we talked about earlier. That's 90% effective. They're asking why not PFE and BNTX, and we should have looked at this first. But
Yeah,
I'll tell you, Pfizer trades like garbage.
it does.
It's a like 5.8 billion share float, heavily institutionally owned, traded on the NYSE. It sucks to trade.
Yeah,
Not that it hasn't had a big move and big volume. I just don't like trading it. And if you've been around long enough, I think most people think Pfizer doesn't trade very well. Could be different today. Always could be different today. There's so many secondary beneficiaries of this.
Yeah,
And if you
yeah.
look at BMTX, the chart on it is just, it's ugly this morning. I mean,
So
it's
what was that? Is VM?
BMT, no, B,
Mm-hmm.
Bravo, November, Tango,
Mm-hmm.
X-ray.
Excellent. Yeah, this is not great. This is not compared to everything else we have, right?
I mean,
Um,
look at this 5 minute candle here. I mean, you've got this nice run, and you've got this pullback. What is that? 114, right about 7:30, 114 to 106.
yeah, yep, yep.
Oh,
Yeah, no, this is not again, it's just not great compared to everything else, guys, that can trace so clean. I mean, United's on top of my list this morning. I like that one. Piton, CCG, American Airlines, CCL. It's amazing what this thing is trading right now. So I think those are better ones to watch this morning. And there's going to be many, many more. I mean, your list, everybody can have a different list today and still have an amazing list to watch. A few more. Let's look at BA again. More in the airline industry. I think this was a good one as well. Good volume, trading very well. So it's another one that we can have on here.
beautiful.
Uh, let's take a look at BAC. Even some of the banking stocks. This is actually one of the worst for me personally, in my opinion, that trades for the intraday trading. It trades horrible, but it has a great pre-market action today. It really does. Now, it does not mean I'm going to watch it. I prefer sometimes WFC. They seem to be a little bit cleaner. But even today, I'm still not convinced this will be the best stock out of other ones that we have here. So that's just my opinion on it. But again, if you know how to read that stock well and you can have it on your list, by all means, put it on there. Here is Play. Now, this is a good news
I,
for Play, up 30%. Go
I
ahead.
like play. And
Yeah.
when I was talking about short floats and seeking out some things that might get a squeeze, plays one of them.
Yeah, so Play right now, the only thing it doesn't look great right now is just the pre-market, right? It doesn't look all that exciting. But look at this gap up 30%, 30%, slightly above this. Remember, we had this run back in May.
Mhm.
This was a nice run. A lot of the airlines did well here too. Yeah, I think Play is a good one. But again, guys, I can't add it on here because I have way too many. But yeah, that one's also looks good as well. All right, so what else we have, guys? Let's take a look at
Somebody's
PFE.
asking why somebody was asking why Roku was down. I mean, it goes back to the same thing. I
Yeah.
mean, they're a beneficiary of people working from home. They're a
Hmm.
beneficiary from people having less income because they want to cut cable bills and maybe go over to something like Roku that doesn't cost quite as much as a $200 Comcast bill.
Right, right. And same thing with like Netflix. I saw Netflix down here as well, right? Imagine how many people have a Netflix membership that might not have the time to sit at home and watch videos now. If they'd rather be out in the bars or doing whatever they want to do if this thing comes through, right?
Nobody's going
Um,
to be at home if this vaccine gets
yeah.
widely distributed and works. Everybody's itching to get the hell out of the house.
People are dying to get out. So something like Netflix, I'm not sure if Disney's on here, but these streaming services are going to take a hit. Whatever did well when this thing was going on is gonna do the opposite this time. We're just kind of flipping things. Zoom, I think Zoom is gonna take a hit. I don't expect this to really drop because travel is still not going to be crazy at first, my opinion only. So I don't expect a big drop on this one. If this was a better trading stock, I would watch this one. But it just trades horrible. It's worse than PFE. Really, this one. The spreads are horrible and the pullbacks are very, very aggressive. So, all right, let's take a few from YouTube. What do we have here? We have Play. We looked at. That's a good one. PFE again, just not the best trading stock. Although we mentioned today could be the difference maker because it does look really good here. As
There's so many better things to
you
trade.
know but yeah, right, there's so many better things you can trade. Someone mentioned JP Morgan. We looked at some of the banks already. Looking at JP Morgan, yeah, JP Morgan looks good, guys. I mean, the banking stocks look great. Actually, what I like about this one's the daily too. It's breaking out nicely. Like if you look at a West Fargo, I think it was kind of stuck within this area. This is not good daily for West Fargo. JP Morgan has a good daily. Even Bank of America has a better daily than West Fargo. So yeah, JP Morgan is a good one to watch. That one can usually trade cleaner than Bank of America. Disney, let's take a look at that one. Disney's actually up nicely. I would expect these to be down, but this is out pretty good today.
No, man, they've got You've got sports with ESPN. They've got their
That's
theme
true.
parks
Yeah.
that have been completely devastated by this. So this is good news for them.
Yes, I was only thinking about the streaming service, but you're right. It's a lot more than that. Probably a lot more revenue on that end too. So yeah, yeah, my mistake there. This is a good one too. Up nicely, 11%. I'm not gonna add it on here. I got way too many on my list already. CVS. What will CVS be doing? A day like today? Let's see. Yeah, no, not
Nothing.
not
That's
not
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 it.
doing anything. Yeah,
If your dart hits CVS, throw another dart. That's not that almost
yeah,
everything's in play. That definitely
yeah.
is not.
Yeah, take another go at that. Neo, you know what? Neo is worth watching. This stock has been so amazing to us. It is worth having here. They have amazing volume. They're pretty much flat right now. They were up and they were down, and they're just trying to figure it out. But just look at this daily, and we have been watching this stock almost every day for the last 3 weeks, I think, at least. And again, amazing plays. So I love their daily, love their volume. Definitely on our list this morning. MGM, I'm sure is doing well today. Yeah, up 17%, 821. MGM could be a hit or miss, guys, on MGM. Again, some pretty good stuff out there right now. But MGM, I'm not going to add. But again, today, if you like that stock, you can add it. Winham, same thing here. Win is, if you want to watch this one, also doing pretty good this morning. All right, guys. I know we're a little bit early, but we're going to stop here because again, it's just so many things that we could throw out today that look great. Let's go over to announcements, and then today is also Mindful Monday, so we will have Dr. Katz on right after the community announcements with his advice for the week. Looking forward to that.
All right, guys. First and foremost, if you are watching on YouTube, we sincerely appreciate you hitting that like button. Click that thumbs up. It really does help us out. If you would go back to the weekly, since it's Monday, we'll do the weekly rundown real quick. All right, the change is fully implemented now, so not quite so much confusion on the different days and the different webinars at night. Brian in the Closing Bells show, 2:30 p.m. He talks about swing trade ideas. Usually it's only on Monday, but with COVID for now, he's in there most days during the week. Tuesdays, Thursdays, noon. In the classroom, you've got Eamon's trade reviews. Then success webinars have now moved to 8 p.m. Tuesday night. Tuesday for sure, most of the time 8 p.m. unless we have somebody in Europe, and that will always be announced. And on the success webinar page on the website, we'll have the schedule going out as far as we're able to put it on there. Then Wednesday night psychology webinars, 8 p.m. usually. We do have some of the psychology team in Europe, and they do it a little bit earlier. Then Thursday, I already talked about Amon's trade reviews, and then Monday through Thursday, you can catch the Closing Bell show with Peter and Mike and Brian, 3:30 to 4:15 Monday through Thursday. All right, success webinars. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, you've got Seth from SMBU's option trading program. He is the director, the head of it. He will be talking about how to transition into a career in options trading. And then next week, you've got our very own Thor Young talking about the where, the when, and the how of level 2 and volume price analysis. That's next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Psychology webinars. We've got Creta, 5 p.m. special time this week, 5 p.m. She is in Europe. Harnessing cognition for peak trading performance. And then NADA next week at 8 p.m. on Wednesday night. Cultivating equanimity, okay? Having space for everything that arises. I can't remember the last time I've uttered that word, so I apologize. I was a little bit cross-eyed on that one. Haven't had enough Red Bull yet. Member trade of the day. If you'd like to participate in this, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day. Mark it up with entries, exits, ideas, strategies, anything that you can do to show your thought process, why you took the trade, what the setup was, why you exited when you did. Post it on Twitter, tag at Bearable Traders, at Mike B_BBT, and at Norm BBT. Also use hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. We will announce the winner every afternoon for the trade of the day in the Closing Bell show, and on Twitter. And then on Monday, we will announce the trade of the week winner, which comes from the 5 days. Everybody votes on those. Winner will win a $100 gift card from Amazon. Don't forget, if you'd like, Andrew's book is now available in Espanol, both paperback on Amazon and audiobook on Audible. All right, if you're watching us on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you can do so at a discount. Use the promo code PREMARKET24. That will give you access to Bearable Traders for 7 calendar days, which is 5 trading days in the chat room. Doesn't auto-renew, turn into any other kind of membership. It also gives you access to Carlos's onboarding class that I spoke about just a moment ago, each and every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Dr. Katz.
Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
I'm great today. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty well, all things considered.
Good. Welcome. Well, last week we started our conversation. It was a suggestion on talking about the winter blues, the seasonal doldrums, SAD, seasonal affect disorder, depression, seasonal depression. It goes by many, many names, and discussed some of how people deal with it and everything else. And this week, I believe you're going to tell us some treatments for it.
Yeah, let me just do a little background stuff. I mean, I think, we have this year the double whammy of seasonal affective disorder and the pandemic. Basically, I think what everybody expects is, unfortunately, this winter, the pandemic is expected to kind of intensify the depression that people experience with seasonal affective disorder. I think there's an estimate out there of literally 5% of the population, 1 in 20, has full-blown SAD syndrome, which is according to Dr. Norman Rosenthal, who was the psychologist who kind of coined the term seasonal affective disorder, I believe, in the 80s. And he feels actually that 3 times that many people may have a kind of a milder version of SAD, which really zaps their energy and enthusiasm for life. So this could be a difficult period. Again, just to reiterate, just for those who may not have been here last week, similar to clinical depression, SAD symptoms are usually kind of pervasive sadness, kind of undue fatigue, difficulty concentrating, excessive sleep, kind of a loss of interest in normal activities that people have, a craving often for starches and sweets, and then some of the subsequent weight gain that happens for people who kind of try to cope kind of with excessive eating as a result of that. In the summer of 2020, we actually did not see a full remission of SAD because of the stresses going on in the world. So this was an unusual thing. So from this, there's a fear that this will happen kind of again as SAD symptoms increase. From a treatment point of view, really what's most helpful for people with SAD is really exposure to sunlight. Sometimes people consult their doctors and their psychotherapy and medication, but exposure to sunlight or its artificial equivalent for 20 to 30 minutes every morning is really a key thing. The standard amount of light needed is what's kind of described, and this is terminology that, I'm not even that familiar with. It's called 10,000 lux, L-U-X, which is basically sitting under a commercial light box for at least, again, 20 to 30 minutes. These 1 foot square light boxes kind of will often do the job. Again, conversely, this time of year is hard, especially for traders on the West Coast. Is really getting out early in the sunlight. Walking or running is enormously helpful. It's as good as compared to the light box. A combination of these things are best. Doing this in the morning is best because getting that light box and exposure to the light helps kind of improve the mood kind of for the best day. But if you can get out even later in the day and get a walk or run in addition to that, that is very helpful as well. Of course, the combination of exercise and outside light, very crucial and important. Basically, some of the things that you can also do that is helpful is kind of in terms of kind of smoothing out the day if you kind of suffer from some of these depressive symptoms, is really kind of following a schedule and a routine is very helpful. Of course, going to bed at a proper and consistent bedtime, trying to get some good sleep. You want to kind of maintain the circadian rhythms in your body. This is very important. So in terms of trading, these things are very useful. The routine and the schedule. You want to kind of create a more positive mood, kind of this open, kind of more open and growth mindset, the ability to manage the stress associated with trading, especially trading losses. That will help with resilience and the ability to stay disciplined and follow your process. And making good trading decisions. So in this situation, I think the key factor is that if people are experiencing some of these depressive symptoms, try not to ruminate and wallow in what is happening. Take them seriously, but then try to be positive and constructive in terms of finding treatment, getting the light you need, trying to, again, get good rest, eating well, getting some structure and routine in your day. These things will put you in a better position to, again, make good trading decisions when you're faced with that. And then, of course, when things are not going well, you'll be in a better, greater position of strength to manage losses and the emotional volatility that comes with the P&L volatility. So again, this could be a little bit of a difficult winter for people dealing with the double whammy of the pandemic and common seasonal affective disorder symptoms. But again, if you take the proper steps proactively and consistently, you probably will be in a better frame of mind to not have it impact your trading in any significant way.
Thank you, Doctor. One quick question for you. Any kind of,
Sure.
I was trying to answer a couple of questions while I was listening to you at the same time. Are there any kind of supplements or anything that might be beneficial?
I would have to read a little further of that. They talk about melatonin being kind of helpful for sleep. I don't think that there's, supplements. Listen, if people have significant depressive symptoms, it's best to consult their doctor or kind of a psychologist or psychiatrist to see if medication might be a kind of a useful adjunct. These are always the questionable things. Again, nobody should endure those symptoms kind of if they're really severely impeding their life. Always getting kind of a medical / psychological consultation can be enormously useful to even know. So again, there are supplements out there. That's not really my area of expertise. And sometimes medication and, like I said, psychotherapy can be useful as well.
Of course. Well, much appreciated, Doctor.
Okay.
Will come up. And thank you for the viewer on YouTube that suggested this topic. It affects a lot of people, not only traders. And like you said, could be worse this year. So thank you, sir, and have a wonderful week.
You too there.
All right, guys. So let's get to our list. We have quite a bit today, and some really good comments here in our chat room. One person asked, how do we trade the open today? How do we, something gapping off so much, a SPY gapping off so much, the overall market? What's the plan as far? Do we wait for a pullback? So we'll talk a little bit about that towards the end. But right now, let's focus on the list that we have, and then we can talk a little bit on what the approach should be on a day like today. So quick scan here, guys. NEO, I do like. I know it's pretty much flat right now, but I like the fact that it's not really at the moment gapping huge or down huge, but it's a stock that has been giving us a lot of good opportunities. So I want to see if this is going to continue. I would think this will be positive news for them. I don't think they get affected much by this on the negative end. So I want to keep that one on there. That one has been great. 12 million shares right now. Pretty much flat, but I like what I'm seeing there as far as the last couple of days. United is very nice this morning, up nicely, 21%. So I want to keep an eye on that as my airline. And again, I'm looking at this one, but I will keep in mind American Airlines and other ones that can possibly trade a little bit better. But for me, United seems to be pretty solid. American Airlines has 26 million, so a lot more volume. This could be another one that you can watch. I'm going to bring this down to a possible for the simple reason I want to have space to watch other areas, not just two airlines on my list. Piton, the stuff that's gapping down today, guys, is important as well. I think Piton is a big one this morning. People wanted to probably go back to the gym. This might not do so well. We'll see. And again, a big part of Peloton is their subscription too. That's where they really make their money. Is that monthly subscription that they have. So again, anything with subscription service, Netflix. We had, I think Zoom was on here as well. Some other companies, Roku, that is going to take a hit. So keep that in mind. So I really like Peloton this morning. Great volume. And aside from that, great pre-market action in the daily. We lost some pretty good levels here already on it. CGC is another area as well that I want to keep an eye on. This one has an amazing daily, beautiful continuation, amazing breakout out of what was that, around 2041, and then also here around 2061. So two really good breakouts on the daily. I like the way that is trading this morning. As for cruise lines, more in the travel sector, I'm going to watch CCL for now. Not looking as clean, 19 million shares. I expect this stock to be very, very, and many of these stocks to be very choppy at the open with this type of volume already in the pre-market. And I imagine when the gates open up, it's going to be even a lot more choppier. Is my thinking here. So you want to be careful and you want to be patient. So you have a lot of patience in these type of stocks today. JWM, I do like this one. As Norm mentioned, I'm watching this one for on a retail end. So we got several things on here. We got a car. We have travel companies. We have a exercise company, pot stocks. This is good. You want to have a nice little mix this morning. See how things are going to play out. AMC, I do like AMC. I'm going to keep that one on there. And PFE, I just have it here because we were talking about it, but it is not going to stay here on my list. I think that stock doesn't trade well at all. As far as secondary, we have American Airlines, CNK. I'm going to really just remove from this list. APT, what we have going on here. Is this a lower flow stock? What was this? APT, yeah, 11.5. So I'm going to bring this down to a low flow. And even as a low flow, I don't think it's worthy of having on our list, to be honest. I mean, I don't think this is anything great. So let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of it. We don't need to watch this today. Even as a low flow stock, let's get rid of that one. INO this morning, I do have this one on here. Although INO, after it has dropped below $12, it hasn't traded well. You had a beautiful breakout here. We had a lot of fun with this early in June. This was a lot of great stuff happening here, a lot of continuation plays here, and then really a nice stock to scalp. But this hasn't been great. So I'm going to remove it. I'm going to get rid of that one. Oxy's a good one. Another one. This actually should probably be on my top list when it comes to Oxy. So I'm going to keep it here as the top possible. Plug is nice. I believe Norm mentioned they had some news on here, some earnings. They're above this area of resistance. They had a couple of great days. And Plug has been really nice at the open. So I like that one secondary. DKNG is good. And I have BA again, another airline industry play here as well. They're doing pretty good this morning. And they have a beautiful, beautiful pre-market activity as well. And a great daily. Great daily. So let's do levels. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's good enough for now. And we can fine tune this even further later on. So as far as NEO, you don't need to add a lot here, guys, because you are literally between the highs and lows of the last two trading days, right on the previous day close. I think you leave this for what it is right now. Again, don't touch it. Looks good. You got plenty of levels here. That one is ready to go. Here is United Airlines. Again, a huge pop, and you can watch your favorite airline that you like to trade this morning. I'm sure they're doing well. 43.51 is the high of the pre-market. Let's go back a little bit here and look at when was the last time we were there. And again, around this May area, you guys remember a lot of stock took off here. They were sold. This was called so low that people just had to buy it, regardless how long it took to get back into normal price range, because it was just, again, the stock hit 18.15 here on the price from $80. From $80 up here. I know a lot of traders that are in this for a long term, myself included. So again, guys, this is going to be a good one today for us. So 49.09 is a nice pop here. Towards the bottom, 43.51, your high of your pre-market. You do have an area right on here at 46. Towards the bottom here, it gets a little sketchy, but you want to look outside of that, right? If you look over here on the daily, you got a pop here, not quite very close. It's 39.78 is a good one. And if you go back, you can also see some of that area of resistance as well. Again, this was when things were wild. Everything was gapping up consistently on every single day. So you got some pretty good levels here for United. Again, not looking all that great right now. I hope it can get better, but this is going to remind me to look at American Airlines and to look at other airlines as well. Not just going to stick to that one. Here's Piton, guys. I love the pre-market action this morning. They're down nicely 14%, 1.2 million shares at the moment. So I'm going to put a level there at 105.53 is your low of your pre-market right now. Below that, you do have another great level of resistance and support around 99.08, maybe 99 to be exact, could be the number there. But you see the resistance you're getting here, and then the beautiful breakout above that level to the low of the pre-market as resistance before we continue to just break out here. Now, towards the top, you have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, but within here, you have a really good level with a lot of touch. This 115.46 has a lot of support, more support over here, great resistance over these couple of days there. So you want to have that on there. And then you have another level here. This is a minor area of support and resistance, which is going to be this one here. We got a nice rejection of 111.34. And it might seem like these levels are very close together, but look at this price action. This pre-market low is 105. This level here is 111, right? So there's a couple of dollars there. They might seem close, but these are really, really big moves. Which in that case, we also want to be reminded, be mindful of the number of shares on this stock. So also, we need the spread to get better. It's right about 15. That's 30 cents. It was 15 cents when I looked at it. If this doesn't get better, this might not be a good candidate for today. It might get dropped down to a possible. Here is CGC right now. Great pre-market action, high of the pre-market.
That spread on Piton is nasty. Usually
it
it's
is
not great, but wow, I was watching it because it's kind of interesting double-ish bottom here.
Yes.
That it's put in between 8 and 905, 910, but wow, I was looking at it and there were just no bids. They were all zeros all the way down to, now it's only 30 cents, but it was like $1 or more.
Yeah, it was nasty, man. When I looked at it first, it was only 15 cents. I looked at it again, it was 30 cents. Now there's 40 cents there. And again, barely any bids here. So I might move this down. I'm going to move it down just so I remember to make sure that this is not really looking all that good right now. As far as that, the rest looks amazing on it, but you got to be careful with that type of spread. You hit that hotkey right when this thing drops $1, and you are going to be in very bad shape. I don't care how many shares you took. That's just not a good risk to reward, no matter how you plan it. Nobody plans to be down $1 on a stock going into it, at least not the way we trade, right? So let's look at, we looked at CGC, did we? Yes, we did. Actually, let's finish it up. I think 27.24 high of the pre-market. Towards the bottom, the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Your pre-market low is right at 24. So 23.99 to be exact. What's above 27.24? And looking at it now, guys, it's not looking all that great right now. This pre-market's it's not looking excellent, but still worth watching. I do see the price action is right on a level, right on there. It's 25.86. I'm going to mark that down. This is a level here, great area of resistance. Also, if you go back into, I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I know that's hard to see. In this August-September timeframe, you can see some of the bounces here, resistance and support. So at 25.91, I'm going to mark that there. Above 27.24, you do have 28.82 as well. So a couple of levels there for CGC. Not looking all that great. I would like this to break out, not come back down here where there's a lot more congestion. So I'm going to take a look at that closely. Might not make my final list as a main on the main list. High of the pre-market for CCL, it is 18.98. This is a good one today, guys. Very, very active. Again, 19 million shares traded already. Look at the pre-market high. Not a coincidence. You do have great area of resistance here. And also, I know this daily looks crazy, but you do have some levels hitting this as resistance right on there. So that's good. Now here, guys, these levels are not, I'm not going to put a lot of weight on these levels up here because this, if you look at this daily here, this is all over the place. This is not clean. Like this is clean here. Nice clean daily, great area of resistance. You get it to change in direction. That's good. Below that, you do have another level here as well. Very clean. 1730. You got a lot of resistance happening here. That's clear, right? A lot of touches right at that price level and a lot of change in directions, resistance happening there. So that's good. 1730. But here, this is just mayhem. There's nothing really here that's clean. You do have a level, a possible minor level here at 2054, where you got 2 days closing. Both of these days gapped up. This was the madness we had in June, right? They both gapped up and they both sold down. right to that level at 2054. So I'm going to keep that on there. The next one is going to be 2180. But again, not a whole lot of weight on these levels. I'll be looking out for, the $20 mark, the 50 cents here. The whole dollars are going to be important there. Now, towards the bottom, we did mark down 1730. That's a good one. And you have another great level here with a lot of touches as well. This 1632 as well. And you got some a tinfoil line here, as Thor would like to call it, right at that level too. JWN this morning. Again, I like what they're doing here. They're up nicely. Pre-market is good. 16 bucks is the high of the pre-market right now. You can see a lot of resistance here. Now, this stock normally, this is not a great trading stock, right? Today's the difference makers, obviously the news, but this stock doesn't trade very well. But their volume is great today. Let's see if they can break out of this area nicely. They could have a real nice run. Towards the top, we do have another level at 1667. And then right up here, we have another one at 1812, excuse me. Then towards the bottom, I am going to mark down this. It looks like it to be around 1493. Maybe it could be 15. I'm not gonna be picky about it. But look at the ping pong action here, where this thing was just consolidating and just trading nasty, just not clean at all. So I do want to have that level on there. If we reject this 16 and we decide to go south, that could be a possible target there of 1493. So we are ready to go there. Let's look at AMC. I like AMC today. Again, up nicely. And the challenge today is going to be, are these things too extended? Do they need to come back a bit here? And we'll get to that question in a second. It's a great question someone asked, and I'm sure we're all thinking about it. We got to plan how we're going to trade this market open. 391, also great area of support here. A lot of support here. Had a beautiful bounce. We came right back down to it before we broke down again. And then right in this area, not a lot of weight on this 332. I hopefully do not want to see this go down. I want to see this break out. I think that's where the momentum will be better. Then towards the top, again, not a great daily. So see, I'm having troubles finding a really clean level here because we don't have a great daily chart. But I want to say around 520. If we draw a line there, I see some resistance there. I see some good support here. Here as well, you got a couple of touches. So 520 could be a good one. But again, not the best daily. Right in this area between 5 and 575 doesn't look all that great there. So all right, and that's possible. We have Piton. The only reason this is down here because the spread is just insane. 29 cents there, even more because look at this zero there. There's nothing there. You go right down to 108. So careful there. American Airlines is good. Oxy should be up here. I think Oxy's a good one. I'm gonna move this up. We'll do levels for it now. What time do we got? 9:20. All right, we'll do this last one and we'll call it. I think Oxy is good.
I'm gonna throw one more at you as well.
Yeah, please do. What do you got?
Uber.
Uber. Oh,
Uber is above its IPO price and price it traded at when it IPO'd around that week. Yes. All-time high now.
Uber is nice, man. We had this was my trade Friday. This was Friday. This was was it Thor Brian? Was it Friday or Thursday? I forget which days, but we did trade this very well last week, right at the open. So this is nice, up 1.2. I'm sorry, 1.2 million shares, up 8%, and their daily is just incredible. And this is really good news for them as well. And I do like Oxy, so let's do levels for Oxy, and I'm gonna do high of the pre-market over at 1194. Above that, we do have a level here, guys. Great area here at a 1286. And this stock is one of those stocks that you really, it's a real momentum play, right? You got to be in and out quick. This stock doesn't trade very well for the most part. Today could be the difference maker. But if the SPY is going to go in one direction or the other one, which many of these stocks are going to follow the market, guys. They don't have their own catalyst today. So whatever the market does, that could really impact things. But this one is one of those that you don't want to stay too long in. Doesn't trend nicely, all right? But it looks pretty good today. And I do like Uber as well. Let's remove some of these levels. High of the pre-market today at 49.47. We'll throw a level. Oh, hold on a second. That's better. So high of the pre-market, 49.50. We'll do a level there. Then towards the bottom, I do like this. Well, actually, let's see the daily. We're above the, yeah, we're well above that. So we don't have no levels here besides this one. That's their previous all-time high, right? With 47 or so, 47.04.
Sounds right.
And that's all you really have, guys. Towards the bottom, highs and lows from the last two trading days. This is a really good story for Uber and Norm, because I know Norm is in this. So yeah, nice. AMC, I'm going to move down, guys. I'm going to just fine tune this list, and I want to get to what our moderators are watching. We'll move this one down. And what's the other one? Didn't look so good. United is good. CGC. I think CGC, no, it's okay. JWN. Yeah, CGC, I'm going to move down, guys. I want a better pre-market from that. I'm not getting it right now. We will eventually get a good one on there, but not just yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. All right, let's see what our moderators are watching this morning. Let's take a look at their list today. All right, where is their list? Oh, here it is. Okay. So let's start with John. So John is looking at his high of day breakouts. He has BA, Nvidia, and Tesla. Peter has, as usual, for Mondays, no IPO scheduled for today. Thor, he is watching a Neo, DKNG, CGC, Snap, and secondary everything else because everything looks good today. So that's a good one. Mike is watching his high of day scanners plus BA. BA does look good. I have this one on a possible as well. Eamon, by the way, put a nice video of his trading setup on YouTube. So make sure you catch that if you have not looked at it. He did it over the weekend. Just an amazing setup. Watchlist Neo, CCL, JBLU, that's JetBlue, secondary CGC, Roku, and JKS. And it feels like the market has done its move. So open could be a bit choppy. This is what I agree with 100%. I think the market could be a little bit choppy with all the volume and how extended.
Definitely sit. I'm gonna, you know, we've been. They asked us, and we're running low on time here. But I'm just gonna say, like I said earlier, I tweeted out first thing this morning when I saw this. It is difficult to trade a 4% gap up. Everything looks extended. Who knows? Maybe they still run. I'm gonna wait for things to settle out a little bit, see what we can find. If I do take something early, it's gonna be small.
Yeah, absolutely. So Peter's list, he's watching the airlines, cruise lines, other travel companies, Neo, secondary, AMD, BIIB, Piton, CGC, and who knows what else. Brian is watching American Airlines, JKS, or TAN, Neo, TNA, and Piton. Tiffany's watching Neo, United Airlines, CCL, secondary, CGC, Tesla, and Piton, and Brian likes CCL as well. So Jerry's watching the energy sector. That's why we'll have Oxy on here. That's a good one. I like the way this one trades. He's watching some of the banks, the Citigroup and West Fargo, and as well airlines and cruise lines. And he'll be just watching some of the AMC stuff on the secondary as well. So again, guys, you could have a list completely different than ours. We're short on time. Thank you so much for joining the pre-market show over on YouTube. We're going to continue over in our chat room and see how this market open is. Again, for those, as Norm mentioned, today is the day that if it's your first day, it's going to be a tough day. If you've been trading for who knows how long, it's going to be a tough day. A lot of things are extended. Be very patient today. And you'll be surprised. Some of the moves might come later, an hour, 30 minutes later, when things settles down. We might get into some really, really good trend trades or reversals. So I'll be looking for that. I'm not going to be putting a lot of weight on the opening range breakup this morning. I want things to settle down first. So take care, guys. Trade safe. And we'll see you tomorrow on YouTube. We'll continue in our chat.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.